So Chanel, you have a dishwasher in your house, right?
Yes, definitely.
What is the main benefit of having a dishwasher?
Besides the fact that I don't have to fight about dishes being done, the fact that I don't have to do them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a big benefit.
Yes.
Saves a lot of time.
Yes. If you pack it correctly and you actually switch it on.
Yes.
You follow the steps.
So the benefit of having a dishwasher is you actually buy time. That's the point of it. You don't have to stand there every day washing the dishes.
Outsource the things that shouldn't be taking my time, yes.
Right.
Things that I don't feel are important in terms of my time.
Yes, they are less important. So you can get something to help you to prioritize other things. So what do you typically spend that time on that you save not having to wash the dishes?
Often fighting with my kids about not making more dishes. Just joking. I think I actually haven't really thought about it. But if I were to think what I would like to spend the time on, would probably be rather having a quality meal with my family rather than standing watching the dishes. Or maybe it would be sitting down watching the sunset for the 3 or 5 minutes that I would have been spending in front of the dishwasher alone, or in front of the basin washing the dishes alone. So probably the quality time, I would think. Yeah.
So it is beneficial if you actually spend it on something that's quality as opposed to just filling it up with something else, which is actually just a waste of time. So I was listening to a conversation this morning while I was cycling, where the speakers were talking about in modern life, we are incredibly focused on being efficient and getting things done so that we have more time to do other things. So what they were talking about is, yes, ticking things off the list. So they say we are really good at using technology to make things more efficient. They were speaking about technology and devices. They were referencing that. And then we spend the time we save wasting time on technology and devices. And he referred to it as an ice cream that licks itself, which I thought was funny. But that is essentially it, because you use all of these clever things to save time and then you just waste time on the same things. You don't actually spend it on meaningful things. And if the benefit of being efficient is freeing up time, we need to get better at actually spending it on something that's going to make our lives better, as opposed to just saying, well, now I can scroll longer, or I can sit watching YouTube videos longer, or whatever that might be.
Yeah. So I'm thinking while you're speaking about something, a really good maybe analogy to add on to that is the idea that say you pay someone to give you a service, right? So you pay someone. So let's use my husband's example. He has an administrative assistant that helps him so that when he's busy, he can see more clients because he doesn't have to do the back end work. He doesn't have to do the scheduling and all of that kind of stuff. So he essentially pays her to free up time so that he can get to his meetings, can do more meetings, which makes his day more productive, right? But the analogy you were using about not using that time effectively would be him paying her to do it and then going and scheduling his own stuff, or going and redoing everything she does. And when one thinks about that, would you really want to give money away and get no benefit from it? Is that something that you really want to do? So actually, it's so counterintuitive if you think about it, to be doing exactly that, using the device that freed up the time. But that is typically what we do. It is typically.
And what we do also, something we've been talking about for the last month, is an over-reliance on technology in the way that yes, we get to the endpoint quicker, but in the process, we forget how to do the thing that we probably should be able to do. You've been talking to a person who is an expert in AI, and he's been talking about the cognitive decline of people because people forget how to do basic things because of their over-reliance on very, very clever technology.
Yes, and I think using clever technology to do stupid things is not clever. The thought that's also coming up is the idea that if we're using the technology to do something that's taking away from what we're here to do, then we maybe not using it effectively. If your niche, your skill, your craft is being downplayed by using a tool that isn't really beneficial. Yeah, it's not adding value. I'm thinking about someone else mentioned in a podcast I was listening to, the idea of looking up a word. Now, I remember as a child, my mom used to always say, go and find the dictionary. If you don't understand or you don't know how to spell a word, go and look it up in the dictionary. And I used to get so frustrated with her when she would say that to me, because I'm like, you know how to spell it, just tell me how to spell it. And I think it's the slow decline is that we do end up Googling now. We'll either Google and now it's AI and whatever to find the solution, or, you know, AI, give me a million different words to say this thing. But this gentleman is actually saying he doesn't retain it. So the chance that he's going to, it's nice when he's under pressure and he has time limits on getting things done. He'll quickly use an AI tool to give him certain information or give him the opposite, the alternative word or phrase that he can use. But the problem is he's most likely not going to remember to be able to use it in future. Whereas when he actually goes and looks it up in the dictionary or in the thesaurus, he actually retains it and the application of it becomes much more real for him. He actually ends up utilizing the information that he's got. So we no longer input, process, output. We actually get stuck in that output loop. I want to say we just continuously delivering, but there's no process in terms of growth or development anymore.
That's the point. It's you're not learning anything. You're not picking up something that you can keep using in the future. So I still have dictionaries there in the bookshelf behind me. You probably still also have dictionaries there behind you. This weekend, I had a very fun experience in the sense that we went on a kayaking trip and there was no technology that could help you. Zero. You had to do everything yourself. So you have a basic plastic boat and you have 2 oars. You've got a partner sitting behind you. I'm sitting in the front, and you have to take everything you need for a 120-kilometer trip on your boat to the end point. And the guy I was rowing with, he underestimated the challenge significantly. And he was sitting with his GoPro in his hand thinking, this is going to be a nice Instagram content trip. Within 10 meters, we fell over and his GoPro was floating down the river. Somebody else had to go and get it. And that was a signal of, this is real. There's no Google Maps. There's no anything that can help you. There's no motor on the canoe. You have to do it all yourself. And the important thing of this was, it took us 2 days to cover the distance. The point of doing the trip was not finishing the trip. The point of the trip was doing the trip. It's slow and arduous and hard work and uncomfortable, but you get to be in a situation and in an environment that you would not be in if you were not on that river, because there are no roads there. You are going through farms, you see beautiful environments, you see the fish eagles over your head. You can't drive there with a car. But the point being is that we get so focused on reaching the endpoint. I need to be efficient. I need to fix. I need to finish. That we don't spend the time doing the thing in between. Because yes, we could have just maybe time traveled from where we started to where we finished if the technology allowed it. But we would not be on the river for 23 hours, actually rowing it. And I think a lot of meaning in life is lost when we are not doing the thing. So the podcast I was listening to this morning, Simon Sinek was talking about, you could ask an AI platform to write you a blog. That's very easy to do. Or you can learn to write the blog yourself. That changes you. That teaches you something. That is a process that you follow, which grows you and develops you so that you are a more capable person. You can ask a platform to give you a script for having a difficult conversation with a colleague or a family member. Or you can learn how to have difficult conversations without scripts and use that skill for the remainder of your life. Like the difference between looking up a word and learning it, or just finding the first one you find and plugging it in and then forgetting it immediately.
I think what's coming to mind is that life is a process, right? It's a process of growth and development. And if you're in that mode of just continuously focusing on the outcome, you're existing, you're not living your life. And I think that should be the outcome, is how can we be more present? How can we focus, or the process, we should focus on being in the process, in actually enjoying the small minutes, even when those moments are uncomfortable, like you said, even though you have to, get dressed at 4 o'clock in the morning in the wet clothes that you fell into the river with the previous day.
Uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable, and it's definitely not something
But it's memorable. I mean, I'll probably
Exactly.
never forget that.
Exactly. And I think it's something that connects you to other people, because it's something that you could share with people post trip as well. And I think it lets us realize that we're capable of a lot more than if we were just to rush from outcome to outcome. And I think the last thought that I would potentially have on that is reflecting back on where the process has actually taught us stuff. So recently also spoke to someone who said to him, the coaching process is only successful if you actually walk away and reflect on what you're taking out of the sessions. And I think often we don't buy out that time. We don't buy out the time to go and actually think about what we could have learned from a process, or what we should maybe be seeing in a process. And when we do that, that's when the learning isn't just for us, but for the people around us as well. And I think that's the point of life, right? We go through things so that we can be a testimony to the people around us as well, in terms of doing difficult things, going through hardship in our lives, but also going through the joys and the beauties of life as well. So I think that would potentially be my closing thoughts on this topic.
Yeah, if we always just aiming at reaching the end destination, or losing the 15 kilograms, or selling the business, or waiting for December to happen, we miss everything in between. And I liked what Arthur Brooks said. He has this small little mantra that he just reminds himself of, saying, be alive now. Because you can be alive in the past, where you get stuck on what happened, or you can be alive in the future, where you're constantly waiting for the thing to happen, and then you'll be happy when that thing happens. But there's a hell of a lot of time in between that you're missing. And I like the idea of just be alive now. Be in this process that you are in now.
Make your minutes full. Make your minutes full. That's it. Yeah.
That is a good chat.